Hey there, Blaise here, and today I want to speculate about Artifact's economy and pay to win as a concept. So, Artifact won't be free to play. It's not yet confirmed how that's going to work. You might buy starter kits for $30, $50, boosters for $2. Numbers don't mean anything right now, there's no information. Gabe Newell did say, however, that they're aiming for the game not to be pay to win. Common cards will be good. I'm going to define this now because people like to label anything with microtransactions as pay to win lately. Pay to win is when money spent gives an inherent advantage which is usually insurmountable without matching their expenditure yourself. However, if a game's combat resolution is impacted largely by player skill rather than just by numbers, it will never be purely pay to win in my books. If the numbers are too impactful and are purchasable goods, then it is pay to win. In a shooter like Battlefront 2, I would hesitate to call it pay to win. In a mobile game, where you send units and get a screen afterwards saying how much damage they did, we get a much cleaner idea on how the dollars directly impact the game's win condition. Of course, in any game where there are a bunch of different cards that do different things, some people are going to think that certain decks are meta, and if you're not playing them, you are not playing the best decks. I disagree. Any good designer will be thinking in terms of apples and oranges. You set values. You create a curve that these values adhere to, and you stick to it. If you deviate, you are creating inherently more or less valuable cards, so you add non-comparable positive or negative things to them. You can create other cards that directly help these less valuable cards or hinder the more valuable cards. If you have a spell that buffs minions with 2 or less attack, suddenly you don't want the 3 attack summon with the same mana cost as the 2 attack summon. Now you have situations where the weaker card is actually preferable. Situations and moment-to-moment gameplay. I think that's what Artifact will come down to. So where does this leave the economy side of things and pay to win? Well, there's definitely going to be an advantage to having more cards. You have a larger amount of possibilities to create your deck from. That potential combo I just described before would only be available to someone with those cards, and it would only be practical if you had 3 of the buff card, the maximum of 1 card that you can have in a deck. Otherwise, it would be inconsistent. You draw 20 of your cards, where's that buff card? I can't play any of this. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't play a different deck. And Gabe was pretty optimistic about the Steam marketplace and its possible effect on Artifact. The idea is that you could sell your cards on the market, that good common cards will be pennies. You might be able to buy a whole deck of good, relevant cards for a few dollars. That's a price I can get behind. It might not be top tier, but most people probably can't tell the difference between a deck with a 52% win rate and one with a 55% win rate. In short, I think it's going to be pretty fairly priced in the end, if not at the start while the market is new. It's probably just going to be a big money pit while people really dive in and get as many cards as they can. I don't think any one deck is going to strictly beat any other deck, just from what I've seen. And no, I don't think it's going to be pay to win. Until next time.